All right, y'all. So welcome to this dual reaction. This is sort of something that we're trying to try out, but I think you guys will enjoy it. It'll be cool to see the view from a U.S. Marine and a Royal Marine Commando. So, Ryan, if you want to introduce yourself.
Yeah, I'm Ryan. I'm Backcountry Workshop. Just starting YouTube. Already on Instagram. So yeah, I've actually watched Theo quite a few times, so it's really good to get into it and see how it goes.
Oh yeah. So in the Royal Marines, what was your job? What was your specialty? Did you get to do any advanced training or anything?
So in the Corps, it's obviously a bit like your Corps. You're a rifleman first. That's all. That's what you are.
Yeah.
And then you used to many years ago be able to stay a rifleman. But I went heavy weapons initially, so that was playing with the javelin, the GPMG, SS, the gun lines. And then later on down in my career, I went so logistics.
Yeah.
And that was kind of with a view to look at going outside, so looking into the civilian market, because once you get into that logistics world, they can start giving you civilian tickets. You know, you can't shoot 50 cows in civvy world, and so,
unfortunately.
But I was lucky enough to work with the UKSF group.
Yeah.
So and I did 3 tours of Afghanistan, a tour of Iraq. I've done jungle training, in Belize, Sierra Leone, and piracy. So I've done a little bit.
Yeah, that's more than a little bit. Cool. Yeah. Well, for my background, I was in the U.S. Marine Infantry for 5 years. I did normal infantry for about 2 years, and then for about 2.5, I was security guard, but more focused on close quarter battle. So in the Marines, we have the recapture tactics team, which is sort of like our close quarter battle team that we put on nuclear submarine bases. So I was a part of that.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. Once that was all done, I switched over to the Army infantry, and I joined the recon platoon.
Well,
it's been fun.
Hence, 4th Commando here, who were before the FPG. They're the Fleet Protection Group. So that's the exact same. So they looked after the nukes. They did all the maritime boardings. This is why the video we're about to watch, they're working together, because obviously very similar roles.
Gotcha. Yeah, cool. So again, I'll give background for this video real quick. This is 4th Commando and a couple of U.S. Marines training. And I will say I know every single U.S. Marine in this video. So I'm going to be judging their CQB, but primarily I'm going to be judging each individual CQB because I know each person, I know their personalities. So it'll be really fun to see how that goes.
No, definitely.
Cool. So yeah, let's get into it. Yeah, I guess the U.S. Marines couldn't bring their own weapons, so they had to use the commandos.
Yeah, I mean, where did it say it was again? I didn't see. Was it UK or was it US?
Yeah, they're all in the UK.
Oh, okay. So if we pause it now on that guy that was using the hooligan.
Yeah.
Was he? He didn't look like a Marine, was he? Because he looked like he was in the Navy fatigues.
Yeah. So with the Marine recapture tactics team, so it's on a naval installation, and on the installation you have Marine infantrymen as security, but you also have the Navy Master at Arms, which is sort of like their MPs, and they can try out for the team as well. Now I would say it's very rare for sailors to try out. But yeah, that was Butterfield, and he was he was actually a budge drop, so he was actually trying to be out for SEAL. So that's why he went on the team, because he was very high speed.
Okay, got you. That's cool.
Yeah,
that's interesting.
I can already see that they're using the Royal Marine Commandos flashbangs, because the ones we use just went off one time. So I think there's
it's called a Nico.
A Nico.
It's a 6-bang. Yeah, so it's a 6-bang. It should be, but let's have a look at that again, because I'm sure well, the ones that I used to train with, they were 6 bangs.
Yeah.
They should go off 6 times. Yeah, I've just rewatched it. So they go off 6 times if you listen to it.
Yeah. Okay, I see.
So they're 6 bangs, and then we go straight into the real 9 bangs if we're doing it for real.
Okay. Yeah. So I guess right now they're starting off with a breach. So mechanical breaching is always really fun, but you have to carry the whole breacher kit on you. So you can see on their body armor they have something called a weapons catch, which is sort of like a loop that they can just throw all the breaching tools on.
Yeah.
So that's what we're seeing right now. This is a pretty nice facility, though.
Yeah, it looks really good. So usually these indoor ranges are police ranges.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense.
Did you ever get the chance to shoot the SE-80?
All right, I'm gonna pause it. I did, yeah. When I was on deployment, we had a bunch of commandos there, and I got to shoot it, and I was not a fan because it felt pretty cheap.
Yeah, it's comparison. The trigger pull on it is what makes it feel completely different.
Yeah, that's true.
Because if you, I don't know if you ever got to look inside, but if you look inside of it, the trigger is like attached to a bar that then pulls the hammer. So it's not like a release like on an AR where you're just releasing the sear to let the hammer go forward type sort of attitude.
Yeah, I've always heard like bullpups have really crappy triggers.
Yeah, they're very heavy in comparison. But the great thing about the SE-80, it's a 20-inch barrel, so exact accuracy and range it looks like an M4, but it can shoot a lot further.
Yeah. I know when I was in Israel, we also trained with the X95, like the Tavor, and having like a bullpup weapon in CQB is so nice.
The Tavor is quite nice to shoot. I recently got the opportunity to shoot one.
Yeah. I actually owned one, and it was a blast.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I wouldn't own an SE-80.
No. Yeah, I'd probably break it, honestly.
That's a funky range.
They don't look like they're hitting much. These virtual trainers are awesome.
Yeah. Oh, nice.
Yeah.
I'm assuming that's some sort of laser.
Yeah, that's what it looks like. He didn't clear the corner there. I saw that.
I was about to say he just kind of went in, didn't he? He just assumed it was safe.
So, this is a bad time to pause it. Yeah, so we've done a lot of those sort of simulated training where it's like a laser almost. I know we in the Marines we called it the ISMITs. In the Army we call it the ESP. Like those virtual training. Yeah, those are really good training tools. Have you guys?
Yeah, we used to have one. God, now you're asking me if this is a way back now. Very similar, but it was it was an SE-80 that had like a massive cable coming out of it.
Yeah, okay.
Into a huge computer.
Yeah.
And the only time I ever used it, I think, was as a recruit back in 2003, and I've never used it since.
Really? Yeah.
Yeah, we just everything.
Yeah, I know in the Marines I used it a couple times, but the Army likes to use it especially because I guess it's easier to do that than have a bunch of people go to the range and not qualify.
Yeah, I get that. That makes sense.
But for like CQB
I mean,
stuff, it's really awesome, especially the scenarios.
yeah, no, that's actually really interesting watching that there. I like the idea of that because you can get the fundamentals right first before having to go live.
Yeah, for sure. Okay. This lady, she got it. So it looks like they have paint rounds now.
Yeah, have you ever done Semination?
Yeah, it's fun. It's really fun.
So if you had to stop it there.
Yeah.
So the only thing I don't like about this scenario, if I was looking at it from is they're coming up together, which I get that, but the Navy gentleman here,
Yeah.
the whole of his right hand side is not being covered, so they both get slotted. It'd be horrible to see.
I don't know what. So normally when you do the stairs like that, the person who's covering up is behind the person who's looking forward, so he can pretty much get like 180.
Yeah, and that's what I'd think. And I'd understand potentially this is them. I don't know if this is them kind of a mock up of what a ship set of stairs would be like. I don't know. It just, to me, that seems like the wrong way to be clearing upstairs and potential corridors and back landings.
Yeah, it does look like more like a ship's ladder well. We would definitely use that for like wide staircases, like in industrial buildings and whatnot. So I'm not sure why they felt they had to do that, but yeah. I don't know. It looks a little sketch.
Yeah.
So that crawl to me, that's like ingrained in our mind for controlling occupants.
Got you.
Yeah, so these are Marines from Georgia and Washington State.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's two teams.
So instantly, if you look at the Raw Marine that came in, he didn't look left.
Exactly.
A quick. The thing is we both know we all do it.
Yeah.
And it sometimes when you're in this environment, you just try to go through the motions sometimes, and that's where complacency sets in. So he should have come in and looked. You can sweep really quickly, as you're aware, and be like straight into your target. He didn't, which was quite not good at all.
Yeah,
really.
you can sort of see the two-man was trying to pick up on what he was doing, and then he ended up going this way, and he's like, okay.
So, instantly his whole left side it is, I know he's not aware of the door, but he should have been aware of the door straight away coming in.
Right, yeah.
And if I'm looking at it,
yep.
I mean, if ever the guy looking through, I mean, you're not aware of the room, but you get an idea of the size of the room. Potentially, the Royal Marine and the gentleman with the glasses should have already been gone by the time they started to fill that room, because the room doesn't look big enough to have a team in there.
Yeah, it is really small. I figured he would just immediately start moving him over, and then I mean it only really takes this dude to cover the two dead checks that they had to do.
Yeah.
It's so weird. This dude's Linkhorn, this is Douglas, and I know this dude too. It's really strange to see all these people I went through training with. It looks like it might have just been a closet. Okay.
Okay, scene.
Yeah, here we go. They could be doing a bit more limited like penetration, clearing from outside the room.
Yeah. Yeah, see, you just now realised there was a door there.
Yeah, so this dude is so funny. So I can see what happened here. He definitely got tunnel vision because he knew there was a target here, and
Yeah.
immediately he just forgot to actually do everything else. It's kind of funny to see.
Yeah, and it happens to everybody, but that's the beauty of doing this. You're training and going, shit,
Yeah.
I didn't do it right. And then you're like, all right, now we've got to do it better. So, I mean, everybody does it. That's why training exists.
Yeah, it's good. You can see he wasn't going across into the open door yet.
Yeah.
But he doesn't know what to do right now.
No.
There you go. Nice.
Yeah. I'm assuming where this gentleman here, just the second marine that came around,
yeah,
there must be where the window and the instructor is a little bit of a dead space with a target.
Yeah. Okay.
So
yeah, that's what I'm thinking. So
it's just the angle.
Yeah. Now, what's really funny is whenever you see them do a dead check, they'll say the exact same thing every single time because, again, that's what they teach at the CQB school. But they'll say down, weapon sweep, eye thumb, tango down. When they go down, they'll jam the muzzle into the person's like sternum to see if they react. They'll sweep the weapon away, thump the eye just to see if they're reacting, and then they do the tango down.
Yeah, because the getting muzzled in the chest wouldn't wake you up.
So they say it so quickly. It's really funny to hear.
Yeah, so when I did, we started off doing CQB. It was very much different to the stacking up version that you guys do and have done for a long time. So it started off old school in the sense of if you came to a building, we never went through the front door. We'd want to go through the top.
Yeah. Okay. That makes sense.
If we could get into the top, we would go through it. But usually, like our first dynamic entry, if you want to call it, would be grenade in, and then the first two guys would go in, and it would be automatic spray into potential enemy corners, and then you'd go in and start feeding through properly. So the stacking up stage of it, we never used to do like this, properly.
Really?
But we've advanced it so much now to where the CQC side of it is, we're probably, if I'm being honest, in the UK, just behind, Special Forces, we're now in the leading edge of what the UK does for it. So the Marines have completely just rehauled it and made it an extremely good and viable option, to the point where I knew a paratrooper that was trying to get the booklet on it so he could teach his basic lads that come straight out of training how to do it, because he was that impressed.
No, it's awesome because we went through like a 7-week course to learn these skills, and every Royal Marine that I've talked to has a really good idea of how to do like close quarter battle and do all this clearing. But like the normal Marine infantry, the Army infantry, the room clearing they get is just like, it's so trash. It's like pointless almost.
Well, we basically start from basic training. We're learning how to do this.
Yeah, it's awesome.
So I don't know if you spoke much about it, but the first 15 weeks of Royal Marines training is like your phase 1 training. It's like mega basics are like, we go over comms, we go over, how because as you're aware, as a Marine, you're to be able to do your position and 2 positions up.
Yeah.
You never just, you're not just a Marine. You must be able to do the corporal's job and the sergeant's job.
Yeah, exactly.
So for us, it's the same with, if you've got a signaller, you must know how to do his job. So if he goes down, someone can take over.
Yeah, it's funny. The infantry end up just being like the jack of all trades, so to speak.
Yeah. So we go straight into CQB. I can't remember what week, and then that's it. We smash CQB, and then we continually do it as we were in the units. So it's part of our job.
That's awesome.
I mean, the only thing I don't know, when you did your CQB school,
Yeah.
did you do anything specific to like ship clearing, or was it all just, is it just the same principles?
Yeah, so we had buildings and ship. We had like a whole mock-up. The course is it's in Chesapeake, Virginia. We actually had a Royal Marine Commando training with us. He went through the school with us.
Yeah.
But like we had like this entire ship markup, and it's really cool because the tactics sort of need to change because you have like no room to actually do the normal stacks and do all the pieing off and whatnot. Yeah, it's scary.
Yeah. So for me, the only time we did any sort of ship training is if we were on ship going somewhere. Other than that, 4-3 Commando were the guys that did everything maritime sort of side of it. So yeah, it's always interesting. So I never got to do any proper ship clearance.
Yeah, it's just scary. You need to watch your feet so you're not tripping.
Yeah. Well, this is interesting seeing his mag change.
Yeah, he's struggling.
Yeah.
That dude's over in Africa right now, actually.
Oh, nice. Oh, I like a bit of shotgun entry.
Why is he loading it so weird? He's like, that was kind of weird.
And another, well, why isn't it preloaded?
Yeah, that's true. So I know at the schoolhouse they would teach us to like put our arms all the way out, but I think it's kind of silly if you can just, put your whole body almost in front of it.
Yeah.
Because you're going to be in front of the door anyway.
No, definitely. Oh, what happened there?
I don't know. I don't think he got it all the way. Let's see. Yeah, it looks like he's trying it again. Yeah, so the way we would do it,
here we go.
We would do like a figure 8. So we'd shoot one and go right below it and shoot again.
Yeah.
And then we would turn around and kick it. Huh.
Oh, what, like a horse kick?
Yeah, yeah. Just because it's easier to get out of the way. He didn't do it.
Yeah.
Because if you turn around and kick it from the rear, you can just walk out of the way and people can make entry.
Yeah, same.
Yeah, it's just kind of awkward. I think they're just trying to get through the motions on that one.
So I like so watching this is quite good. I don't know if using this tool.
Yeah.
It's good to teaching them the right way, because I've seen people do it where they break their hands because they hit the frame of the door because they're doing it the opposite.
Yeah, exactly.
So they could be standing. Yeah, so it's good that happens. Otherwise, you'd have a few broken knuckles.
Yeah, especially so like the Halligan tool. I don't know if we're gonna see it too much, or the hooligan. People call it a bunch of different things. But people would put their fingers like on it to get it into the door frame, and someone would hit hit it with a sledge and just slam their fingers into the
Yeah. That's that Marine useless now for about 20 minutes while he's on the floor.
This is a cool little camera angle.
Yeah, I like that. So, obviously, if you pause it there for a second, I don't know the scenario they've been told, but if you go back to the wall, the rear man, by the looks of it, so everybody is pointing to the building.
Yeah.
Now, again, I don't know if this is everything is safe, but I would say potentially from experience in other like Afghan countries that the way these guys have tunnels from one compound to the other, I remember we had a contact and it was from one compound. So you don't clear every compound around it because there's 30, 40 of them and they're huge. You're going for the one that the contact's coming from.
Right.
And then as we cleared it, no one was in there. I mean that, nobody, except for wives and children. As we come out the next compound, they had somehow got underground. They had someone had found a little tunnel, and they would come from another compound and then attacking us. So luckily at the time, we had guys facing in a direct defense. So to me, in the same sort of principle, the rear man, I would say, or at least stagger, maybe. I don't know. I don't know what the story behind them saying, hey, this is the only a building that's a threat. So.
Yeah, I know when we're going through the schoolhouse, we practice it as if like the guard, because we have the normal guard force at the submarine base as well, and they would be the ones who would cordon everything off. So they would have like the outpost and everything. So that might be the scenario, but even still, I understand like it was pretty much normal practice for them to bring thermal optics into an enclosure so they could check all the walls, the rugs to see if there's any holes and whatnot.
That makes sense. But you're probably right because of who these guys are, and because I know who 4-3 are. This is probably, hey, this is your only threat. Crack on type attitude, and then that would make sense to the way they are.
Yeah, it's a good catch though. It makes me nervous too.
Yeah. And it would be interesting to see so they got the LCAN site.
Yeah.
But they didn't get the 1 to 4 power. They got the 4 power. It'd be interesting to know if they're all using the red dot on top, or did you ever get taught the shotgun method?
So we don't have the shotgun method. With our ACOG or the Trijicon optic, we have the bend green concept, which basically means if you look with both eyes open, basically the reticle will get painted almost on the target, and you can utilize it like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it doesn't work too
well. We were taught, especially in a confined space as young, that the shotgun method is a bit like your duty old double barrel. That if you were to bring your rifle up and double tap at the small distances that we do engage inside, you're 9 out of 10 times you're going to hit that target, because there's the round isn't going to move. It's going straight because you're 2 meters away, not so. Yeah, but that's with a 4 power scope.
I think we called that. There's a method to do that. It's called point shooting, but a lot of times they don't really do much in the military, unless you're like special operations or something. I mean, I guess we'll see.
And it's interesting.
Go ahead.
Sorry, go on. It's interesting to see that. I mean, we have lasers now, but they're not using lasers.
So you guys use like visible lasers and whatnot?
So we've got a new system that's, IR, red laser, and torch all in one system.
Yeah.
And it's interesting not to see them using that, and which again would help with close quarter.
That's interesting. So we did have an argument, or like I guess it was a discussion at CQB school about using lasers. So personally, I think you could use them very well. Like in the States, I have a laser on my home defense shotgun, but the idea at least in this unit when they were teaching us is it makes your marksmanship fundamentals not as solid, because as opposed to focusing on using your optic, you focus so much on using your laser. And I mean, I don't really see the huge issue when you're talking about CQB. It's just a lot of people to use their laser more than their optic.
Well, I mean, so fundamentally for me, a laser is either, for all it's there for is to point out a target if you need to. So nighttime IR, or for CQB to be able to bring that up, because if you're in a confined space, can't get sight pictures. You're I think if I'm not mistaken, a PEC box, you'll do it to like 25 meters. That laser will be zeroed in. So therefore, actually, it shouldn't really matter. But that's
it's super nice to use like lasers though, especially when you like the IR laser. When we would use them, you could like throw your weapon in like the center of your body armor, so there's like almost no recoil because you don't need to worry about shouldering it or anything. So there are a lot of benefits. For sure.
Yeah, and it's like everything. It's at the time, it's whoever's in charge of that school, like it's his train set.
Yeah.
So he's like, I don't like that. We're not doing that.
Oh, he's got his elbow way up.
Yeah, I think he's trying to over seat clamp out there.
Yeah, the operator.
Yeah, that's a bootleg there, Henri. For anyone of your viewers that know what a bootleg is. No, this is an interesting view.
Yeah. See what is. Yeah, you can see the muzzle awareness right now.
Yeah. All right. See, this is now. If you were to pause it, I like this view.
Yeah.
Because it will show how they enter that room and clear that room. Because I was always taught where your eyes look is where your muzzle should look when you're clearing.
Yeah, exactly. And you can see if their muzzle enters the room before they're actually covering down on their danger areas.
Yeah.
I guess we can see which corner he's going to be getting. Yeah, see, his muzzle was.
Yeah. But it looked a lot better than the first ones we've seen of this room.
Yeah, he got on that closet real quick.
Oh, move your sight cap. But it looks like they're doing the red dot there.
Yeah. That dude was he's pretty new in the team. I know that much. I don't know if they're supposed to be shooting quickly. Yeah, there we go.
Yeah, I think if you're not used to the trigger pull in that weapon system, it's quite hard to understand the way it goes.
You can see their fingers.
But I tell you what, though, the Navy SEAL guy does look pretty switched on. The one that was in Buds and dropped out.
Yeah. He's a good dude. He was one of our best, honestly. He's actually about to become an Army helicopter pilot.
Bloody hell.
Yeah.
Is it quite easy then to change over?
Yeah, I guess you need to get tired of throwing flashbangs and shooting people. This dude's struggling. So I would say with our Rams, they're a lot bigger. So that's probably why they're expecting the Ram to do all the work.
I mean, that's still quite a heavy enforcer, really. So, oh, there you go. So there's the hooligan bar there.
Nice. Yeah, it's an awesome breaching tool. I don't know if anyone shot that dude in the corner, though.
I was about to say the same thing.
He's just kind of chilling there.
So, instantly, all right, if we pause it here.
Yeah.
All right. They're obviously using GoPros here. No, I don't think anyone did shoot it by the looks of it. But as they come in, obviously the second man does his checks. And then the third man, I was like, I wouldn't bring a third man into that room.
Yeah, he should have called a small room because you can see that there's pretty much nothing on.
Yeah, and then they should have just got up and then carried on. In fact, they were going through that next door.
Yeah.
Because he's had to squeeze himself in there.
Yeah, I don't even know what he's looking at. I guess is a something. Okay.
Yeah, see, it just.
Oh, that's really narrow.
So it's, yeah, it's,
Okay.
what the,
He was new on the team. I know that
it,
much. Okay. It's getting scary here.
oh, yeah, it's, that's,
Yeah, you gotta.
yeah, that makes sense.
Okay, there we go.
That's something that we were taught, like if the door's closed and you've got that corridor, there's no point in the first two men taking it.
Yeah,
Because they
exactly.
can then provide cover further up. So that completely makes it. I like that. That's how it should be, really. See, that's that room we just seen, I think.
Yeah, that was a little better. It looked like. Hmm. They're getting like every view possible in this video.
Yeah, and which is, it's great as a training aid.
Yeah, for sure.
So looking at this, and I've seen a
Oh,
lot
man.
of American units do it. Are you taught to be high port when clearing or low like there?
So if you're in a stack, like this, you're gonna have your weapon down. I've seen where people will have like their weapons over the shoulders and whatnot, but for everything that we were doing, because it's flowing all over the place, it's better for us to just keep our weapon down.
Yeah,
Unless
because I
obviously
know.
you're in the front.
Yeah, I know the SEAL teams like to be high port. They like to be up,
Mm-hmm.
and so they just bring it straight down. And yeah, I'm not a huge fan of it, but you know that's just personal preference.
Yeah, it is.
I tend to be, when I used to do this, even with the S80, shouldered, but still low, but
Yeah.
shouldered ready to go. So if I had to bring it up, I'm in a stable fine position straight away.
Yeah, for me, it's more natural to just bring it up. This is very, very tight, though. And that's going
Yeah,
up. Okay, there we go. Nice.
that makes sense.
Yeah.
See, like there now, he's going up. Yeah, there you go. Like we spoke earlier on, that's how it should have been done the first time.
That's definitely.
The only thing there again is the second man, the second USMC guy.
Yeah. He should be behind him, really.
Yeah, and still in a sense sweeping as he comes up. So as soon as he gets that left visual, sweep around just in case he had to.
Yeah.
Because again, it's not being mean, but if the gentleman's going up back and he can't, if he's looking up and looking up and can't get to sweep because there's a door there, his focus is on the door and then not to the side of the door. So it's it's interesting. Anyway, you could break down the minutest things every time.
Oh yeah. He looks like he's got his finger on the trigger the entire time.
Yes, he does.
It's kind of bugging me, especially for a Glock.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a pretty small room. I would just
Okay.
Tactical training in entering rooms and help take down rooms in different spaces. We've done judgmental training using the simulator here and different scenarios and how guys react differently to different threats posed to them. And we've also done method of entry training using some quite basic techniques of sledgehammers and enforcers to smashing doors. More advanced techniques using shotguns to shoot out locks and hinges. The facility is the Northumbria Tactical Training Centre.
Yeah, they just said it Northumbria, so that'd be Northumbria Police. They'll be using their sort of area.
That's some solid training.
Which is where they seem to get the money and we don't when it comes to
that. Yeah, it's crazy how that works.
I mean, so a very good friend of mine right now is like the lead instructor, like for CQC and training the PWs who will go and teach all this skill at arm stuff.
It looks like it's
so
just
I'm always
interviews left.
Oh yeah.
Oh, I know. This dude was he was actually a former cop before he joined the Marine.
Oh
wow. Yeah, he was pretty old. He was probably like 31. Okay. Well, I mean, yeah, that's the end of that video.
Yeah, just interviews.
It's cool to look at. It's cool to see. I mean, it seems like we're basically on the same page as far as the tactics were concerned. And here we go. This is the same people that we were just watching.
Yeah.
Oh man.
And it's the fact he falls as well.
Yeah. I don't know if it was the flashbang that did it in or just that little ledge.
I think he slips on the flashbang. Yeah. Maybe.
Yeah, that's what you need to watch out for when you're on skid. You need to watch out for those little ledges and whatnot.
Yeah, part of the bulkhead, isn't it?
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, that was cool to check out.
It's
definitely fun to like refresh yourself on the tactics.
Oh, I mean, yeah. I mean, when I do the airsoft stuff, you know, lucky enough, now and again, I know friends that come along. They won't put much input in the sense of they can't give current tactics because obviously that's wrong. But what they can do is be like, hey, like for me, I can have a bit of a teach behind closed doors because I'm that sort of person. Even though I'm not doing it now, I love to still know what's going on in that sense. I love to be clued in, and it's every day's a school day. So when I'm teaching the airsofters, I mean, I take your Billy basic stuff and I turn it into an airsoft world because, you know, you're not going to run in airsoft and start poking people in the eye and, you know, it's like guys, we don't do that. But in real life, we could stick our thumb into their eyeball properly. Yeah. And I had one guy go, what, right in? I'm like, yeah, you eye poke it. You want to make sure he's dead? You stick it in. You don't touch his eye, you're sticking it in. And so you explain that and going, but for you, you don't do that. But some of them really love it because they get that military experience out of it as well.
Right.
So you're like, so you turn around and go, this is what we've done for airsoft. And then you go, but if it was real life, this is what we would do. And love it. They love it. They're like, oh my God, really? Like, yeah. You know, it's.
Yeah. I know
you've got to.
With airsoft, you can definitely get a little cocky and a little carried away just because you're not so concerned about the whole self-preservation aspect. You just, you know, you can run and gun it. But yeah, tactics do play a big part if you're actually trying to do it.
Well, you say that the guys that come to this training, you'll be surprised how many don't want to get hit. So like they're like, I don't want to be hit. I don't want to. So they want to go through. They want to clear without even being touched. And that's quite refreshing in the sense of, you know, they're concentrating on what they have to do.
Right.
Instead of knowing that they get hit, they can put their hand up, walk back and go straight back in. But as a team, because we have teams turn up, from a team aspect, none of them want to get hit. They all want to clear it. So it's quite nice that way because then you hit them. Like we did it where we taught one, we put a guy down in the front and they all froze. What do we do? I'm like, well, it's not real, so just kick him out the way and carry on with the game. I went, obviously, if it was real, you'd probably find that you would jump over him, but he'd then get dragged out and then squared away with. So, yeah, so it's good that way, especially when you put them under a bit of pressure. So, you know, we'll start throwing, you know, bangs when bangs are not meant to be going off, and you watch, you know, civilians go, what the hell? And you're like, well, if that was real, you'd be dead. And he's like, oh shit, yeah, you know. So it's interesting. It's good. It's good fun.
It's cool when you bring the realism aspect into airsoft. A lot of airsofters are really big into like the whole real. Obviously, you can see all these milsims and whatnot, but even in the military, we have like the paint rounds and whatnot, and that's some of the best training that you can actually get. Yeah,
ammunition is fun. And it stings, but it is good fun. I was in Bahrain, so we were there for 6 weeks training the Bahrain Defence Force. But on some of our days off, we'd go over to the the USMC lads, and we'd train with them. You know, they would take us for a bit of fizz. We'd take them for fizz. We'd go and do some CQB. We'd go do live shooting. And so we're clearing a building, and obviously we're all semi-missioned. And the USMC instructor's like, hey, man, no headshots. Okay, he's telling us no headshots. But as bootlegs, if you pop your head out, you're getting double tapped.
Yeah.
So they had guys, I think it's a Navy plane anyway. So they'd pop their head out like that, and we're like, bang, bang. And he's like, you can't shoot him. And then we're like, turning around going, we can. I went, because we train to kill. We don't train just to hit the body. And he's like, okay. But without being rude, you know, some of us were 8-year Marines by this point. And I know, you know, the rank structure and how quick you can get up sometimes in comparison to us. You know, you can have a sergeant that's done a lot less than a Marine, but he's done a lot more experience. So we tend to be a bit arrogant in that way, but look, we know you're a sergeant, but you're a baby in comparison to the stuff we've done. So it's, you know, for us, it takes usually 8 to 10 years to be a corporal. Back-led, you know, and that was because you've had to done operational tours. You've had to have the experience to then be able to put back into the troops and into your men. So it you know, where now it's a little bit different because there is no operational tours. So therefore, you know, you need to go on more merit-based than just experience and merit. So, you know, for us, I would have been looking at when I left 8 years ago now, that about the 8-year point-ish, I should have been promoted to corporal. Might have been a lance corporal, but promoted to fully corporal's course, and then moving on.
Right.
So it's a lot. That's where our rank structure is so massively different.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. I never really got to talk to the commando at CQB school and learn a little bit about that. We just called him Dave. He was a cool dude. So.
It's cool.
Yeah.
Well, we have billet, like, so we have a posting where we come over. So we have I think it's a gunnery sergeant that's one of our troop sergeants in training, and that's his posting for 2 years. My 2IC in Delta Company was a USMC.
That's awesome.
And he was only allowed to do it as long as he passed the commander tests.
Oh, that's sick.
So he had to come. So, oh God, what was his name? He was a captain. So, like, Captain Farrell, something like that. Like, he'd already had 2 Bronze Stars from Iraq.
Okay.
Like, it's like, I remember him telling the story, like, his boss got killed, so he had to move up, and then he got shot in the arse, and, like, it was crazy, like, you know. But he told me he had to do a course in the US first. There was like 5 officers, and he was the only one that passed to then allow him to come and do the commando course. And then he passed that, and then he deployed with us, and he was with us for 2 years.
Yeah, that sucks, because I didn't even know about like the all arms course and all of that. I didn't know about that at all until like I started doing reactions about the Royal Marines and whatnot. So I wish that was offered, because that would have been awesome to go and try that.
Because we already have that with the Dutch Marines. The Dutch Marines are allowed to come across. We do quite a lot with the Dutch. So and that's because our backgrounds and the way we kind of come of. I mean, like, we're all similar, but I mean, like, they're like parallel, similar type attitude. Yeah. So we do a lot with them. So you'll see a lot of Dutch Marines sometimes with green lids because they've been over and done it with us. And the great thing about having the captain with us is, still at the time, we hadn't still fully gone into how you guys train when it comes to like even your shooting packages. Like, the first time we did any actually advanced contact shooting, in the sense of on a range, target up, move in, bang, bang, and not a fire maneuver, was with him in Denmark, and we loved it. We like, he brought stuff in that we only see what you guys have done or we've got attempted to do with you. So for us, it's amazing, you know. And we've had it before. I had in Iraq, my troop sergeant was a Aussie commando. Okay. So it's good to have that cross training, because it just, the knowledge that everybody brings is just amazing. It's I loved it, you know. Yeah, that's why it's cool doing these reaction videos. We can sort of get a little bit of experience, not firsthand, but, you know, through a video at least. Okay, I'm gonna close out this.
this video so we can stop recording. And yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Let us know if you'd like to see any more, you know, dual reactions. To get 2 points of view on one video, see how the tactics are different and whatnot. But yeah, definitely recommend send those recommendations in the comments section. I know we have a few other ideas we're trying to check out. So if you guys have any recommendations, feel free to send them in the comments. But we do appreciate you guys watching, and we'll see y'all in the next one.
Thanks very much.